Well, thank you for bringing that movie to Sci-Fi London. It's a terrific movie. It's a shame that I had to run straight down to turn the microphones on because I feel like I need to take a breath to recover after that film. I mean, it's interesting that the introduction that our resident scientist gave about the movie, she was saying maybe we need to put morality aside when we start thinking about some of these issues. But since that has such a bleak ending, it suggests that maybe you fall on the side of maybe man shouldn't experiment with these things because we lose our soul in the process.
No, actually no.
Okay.
I am very much on her side. But what I do believe is there needs to be oversight and there needs to be sort of some kind of governance so that, and I don't mean government,
Sure.
but just, people need to be aware of where science is going. And I think peer reviews and even in some cases public scrutiny, I think is a fantastic thing. So that what's happening in labs is not a black box. Well, that's my 2 cents worth.
Sure. So this is your debut feature. It's a very assured film. I'm not saying this just flat you. I thought it was very well directed and well written.
Thank you very much.
But that sort of movie doesn't come out of nowhere. What was your background before making this film?
It actually does come a little bit out of nowhere. I am an engineer by training. And I worked for 5 years as an engineer. I came to the US in '95. I got an MBA. And I worked as an investment banker.
Guys, excuse me, interruption. Hold your mics up a little bit.
Sorry.
Okay. That's better. So yes, I worked as an investment banker on Wall Street for a few years. And then the .com era happened. I started a software company, which my friend and I, Jay, whose little girl was in the film, and who produced the film with me, Jay and I started a software company together. We sold our first company, and we're actually now in a third company together, and we're still running that. And then this came out of nowhere in the sense that I was kind of approaching my mid to late 40s. I think I started 48, and I had always wanted to write. I always wanted to be involved in cinema. And I just bought myself a birthday gift, and that was an 8-week screenwriting class.
Oh.
And so I went to that screenwriting class, and the class was billed as, bring a log line and you leave with a draft. So I said, okay, that kind of what I wanted. So I went there with a log line, and I did all the homeworks. I just got the assignments turned in, and I left with the first draft. And then
Wow.
you see the result of that up there.
But also, knowing how to direct as well. I mean, did you practice on some shorter projects?
I actually have not made a short.
Okay.
What I did do is so after that, and for Christmas that year, my birthday's in October, so in Christmas that year I bought myself a 4-week filmmaking class.
Okay.
And I went, and I made 3 kind of no sound sort of music videos in that class. And that was the extent of my filmmaking experience. I haven't got a short to my name.
Okay.
Those are class assignments, and my kids are in them. It's kind of like a little
Yeah.
bit like a home video.
Okay. But we do have your midlife crisis horror movie.
That's right. That is correct.
It's interesting that in the Sci-Fi London brochure, whoever writes it, probably Louis, has written how it's not that much like Frankenstein. But actually, the setup where he's implanting pig organs into children and sort of bringing dogs back from the dead, actually that does feel quite a lot like Frankenstein.
It does, and maybe subconsciously it was influenced. I'm sure. I think every horror story told subconsciously draws from Frankenstein. It's such a important work. But for me, consciously, it didn't come out of there.
Yeah.
So I kind of drew just on ideas that were floating around my head, and the unreliable narrator. I kind of was very influenced by Turner the Screw. Most of the character names came out of that book, but that was just more of a token sort of acknowledgement of what I think is a fantastic piece of work also. And I don't think Frankenstein wasn't consciously an influence. films.
But certainly the mad scientist.
Yeah,
trope.
yeah, of course.
How did you get your lead actor involved?
Well, Ian, you know, he's obviously a fantastic actor, and he's been around for so many years. He's done so much fantastic work. It all happened mainly because we had a casting director who would just refuse to let go. He kind of was like he was like a bulldog, and he got after Ian's manager. We knew we wanted Ian, and he got after Ian's manager. He got a script to him, and you know, I have to tip my hat to Mark Tillman, who's our casting director, and he just you know, went after Ian through his manager, through his agent, and got the script to him. Luckily, Ian read it and liked it, and I can't imagine anyone else being Quint. It just had to be him.
So when you were writing the script, it was with him or someone similar in mind?
Yeah, when I was writing, I didn't have that in mind. But you know, once we started casting, and my casting director gave me a few names, and I watched some of the things that Ian had done, I could immediately picture him as Quint.
In his video introduction, Ian said somewhat enigmatically, "Ask Maurice about the walkout."
Well, you know, I'm going to play it down a little bit because you know, we lost a few days because there was a walkout on our set. And I think, you know, it's water under the bridge. We did lose a couple of days, and for a small budget film, you know, it could have been an irrecoverable loss. Luckily for us, we kind of were able to hold it together. Our actors were very flexible. Our crew actually, later, you know, after that, they went out of their way to help us to finish the film. So even though we lost like 3 days, we were able to make that up. And we still have a finished film. We don't have any major scenes missing. There were a few things that were on the page that we didn't get, but there's so much more that was on the page that we shot and got left in the cutting room. You know, that I probably should have shot like 5-7 days less even than what I did end up shooting.
Cool. Do we have a volunteer who can run about with a microphone? Fantastic. If anyone in the audience has any questions, please stick your hand up, and our glamorous assistant will bring you a microphone. Anyone want to ask Maurice any questions about the making of the movie? You scared them all, they're all traumatized.
Well, how about if I ask you guys a question? Are you guys ready for that? And I have a wonderful Chimera cap that I will happily give out.
Made
to
from
whoever
genuine pig DNA.
whoever will give me the... I've got a couple questions, let's see. And not only that, it will help guide me. It's like a focus group helping me for my next project. So I will know whether some things hit their mark or not. There is a Matrix reference in the film. Did anyone pick up on that? Yes, it is the red and the blue pill. But I'm going to ask a follow-up question, because these hats are not easy to come by. What do they evoke, the red and the blue pill, in the film? Can anyone tell me that?
We have
Which one?
The red is
The red is the light.
yeah.
That's right. And the blue is the children who are frozen. Absolutely. So that was one. Second, could anyone tell me, there is a protein that becomes very key. Does anyone remember the name, and can they spell it? That's correct. I'm sure you can spell it.
It's made up. I googled it earlier. So is this the protein?
No, I completely made it up.
Yeah, because I was like, what's the significance of this name? I googled Ambrose, and I think
Ambrosia. I picked it from Ambrosia.
really, because there's a couple of people. There's a musician. There was a Nazi. So I was like, is it a really evil? I don't know, thrombone involved in coagulation. But thank you for the cap. Do you want me to still spell it? I think we're all right.
I think we're okay.
Thank you.
Nice. So the nectar of the gods meets Nazi.
That's right. And
Experimentation.
It's protein.
Fantastic.
Meets science. Nectar of the gods meets science. Last cap, and this is a hard one. You know what? If anybody gets this, I'll throw in my Chimera badge as well. How's that? Okay. There are 2 Beckett references in the film.
Godot.
One's Godot. Anyone get the second one? hat and badge.
Yeah, everything else I know about Beckett comes from Quantum Leap. So.
Well, there's a line that his wife says about, we cut the first part off it, but the line it's a beautiful line, it kind of always guided me in writing this film, was we give birth astride a grave. The light gleams an instant, and then it's night once more. And then I added on, which she says, the light was never meant to outlast the night, but that was the second Beckett reference. And
so you win your own hat.
I win my own hat, and I get to keep my badge. That was too obscure, I'm sorry, but I just had to ask. I had to ask.
So this is the world premiere? So
No, we've actually, we had a special screening in Portugal in February, and then we did our big premiere was in Boston, where we kind of had a red carpet, black tie, and everything. And we were fortunate enough to win Best Picture in Boston, cool. Boston International Film Festival. We then went to the Phoenix Film Festival. That was 2 weeks ago. And we also won Best Sci-Fi Feature there. Very grateful to the jury and the audience in both festivals. And this is our UK premiere.
So, as you're joining us for the London premiere, what has the feedback been like so far from the other audiences? Since this lot are really quiet. Unless there's a hat in the deal.
That's right. We took a lot of risks making the film, and I think you might have seen that. We played with the unreliable narrator, we jumped back and forth in the timeline, we mixed fact with fantasy. There's a lot of stuff that's going on in his head that's he's out of touch with. We took so many risks. There's dream sequences, but you're not sure really what they are. There's premonition that you see early on. So we mixed a bunch of things. We took a lot of creative risks in this film, and I was prepared, and my investors, I think, also importantly, were prepared. Kind of rolling the dice here a little bit because people may not like it, and we've got a few obscure references. They kind of pointed one out. There's the little toy in there was called Hal. But you guys, I couldn't ask that question because every line where the word Hal is mentioned ended up on the cutting room floor. So nobody knows that little guy, the little toy that he plays with and the kids play with was called Hal. So I had little things like that built in. But I think given all the risk that we took, I feel like it's paid off. I guess we'll know more when the film gets wider, viewed widely, distributed widely. If it gets onto iTunes or Amazon or any VOD service, and people watch it and they write their reviews. People are brutally honest, and I love the feedback, good or bad. Like I said, it'll inform, I think, whatever next project I undertake. Yeah. And,
well, I think this lot liked it, and because of that, I think you deserve an enormous round of applause.
So thank you very much.
For showing members of the audience, I think this place is open a little bit longer, so maybe they can come and find you
Of
in the
course,
bar.
I'll be out there. I'm going to get a drink,
Brilliant.
And if anybody wants to talk, I'm happy to talk.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you. Sorry.